boss. You see the topic, man. Once you have leverage, you become dangerous, all right? So here's the deal. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the quick definition, make it real nice and easy. Using something like a tool, resource, or influence to gain a greater advantage or effect with less effort or investment. Now, break that down, right? Once you have leverage in life, you don't really have to conform to certain things if you don't want to. You give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. So leverage is like saying you have options. It's like saying, example, let's say your job said, hey, if you want to keep your job and stay here with us, you better do what it is that we tell you or we'll fire you, right? The average person who got hella bills will be like, oh my God, all right, I need to humble myself. No, when you have leverage, you could look at your job and tell them, yo, my nigga, do it. Literally, when you have leverage like that, you could be like, yo, my nigga, go ahead, fuck yourself. You feel me? Do what you got to do. Because a job is not used to hearing people say that. That means you have leverage of your own. They know, yo, the average person, you're going to need a paycheck to cover all of your bills. But you probably got something on the side or other options that it's like, yo, if you fire me today, I'll go ahead and I'll pick back up another job. That scares people because people like to leave others with what? No options. So it's easier for you to conform to me, right? So here's the deal. And I'm going to go into it, make it real suave for you. Why I said when you have leverage, you become dangerous. You have a form of increased power, right? So, back into that example, your job saying, yo, we'll fire you, we'll this, that, and the third. How you create leverage over yourself? Are you a person who has a lot of skill set? Do you know the job like that? Have you learned things at the job that other people don't know? That's how you create yourself some leverage and wiggle room. It's just like example. Let's say you work somewhere and there's a machine that only one person knows how to operate it. If you learn that machine, you got leverage. You become dangerous. You become even more of an asset to your job. So let's say when it comes time for a raise or whatever, hey, we're only going to be able to give you guys a 50-cent raise. Yo, I need like $2 and change or something. Oh, we can't do that. I could just go ahead and leave here, bro. How many people do you have here that know how to operate this machine and operate this and do that? Once you know your stuff, you become dangerous. So nobody can't really play with you like that. You get what I'm saying? Moving forward, manipulation potential. Not saying, and you know how I move, bro. I'm not going to tell you to go manipulate or do anything like that. But when you have leverage to do certain things, you can manipulate and have potential to do a little bit more with that. So I'm going to give you an example, like based on stuff that I told you in the past about me, right? Me and my mom beef. We had our problems, right? My mom thought that she had wiggle room over me because I'm your mother. I grew you in the church. You have a good fear of God. You have fear for me. You have to respect me. What my mom didn't know is that I was sick and tired of her and her shit. And I told my mom, if you want to keep playing these games, I'm going to go ahead and get a private investigator. I'll show you how petty I am. You're my mother. You should know what type of person I am. My mom wanted to roll the dice. Okay, we could play that game. From me telling my mom what I was going to do and I actually executed it, I found a lot of information that my mom thought I wasn't going to be able to find that she hid from me. I threw it back to her face and that left her in shock. Because, yo, I have wiggle room to do a lot more to you. I just never did it. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes in life, and this is with anything, job, relationship, whatever, when some people feel like they have the upper hand over you, sometimes people like to flex their muscle on you. And they'll do it unnecessarily like, hey, it's either you do what it is that I told you to or you know what it is that I'll do. Just like the little rap nigga O'Neal. O'Neal used to threaten to have me killed if I would have never did certain things for him. So it's like, yo, what am I going to do? I got to get my leverage up against this nigga. You get what I'm saying? That's why I was collecting information on the nigga for years and got him in recordings. If you ever want to lie on me, I got you in recordings so we could go to war. I got my own leverage. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes, I'm going to tell you this how it goes, bro. When people feel like you're going to be a standalone person or you're going to sit here and take the bullshit or you're a one-trick pony, you got to show people you got more tricks up the sleeves, dog. Because when you got leverage, people are going to be that much more hesitant to want to play with you. I'll give you another example into that. Let's say somebody is quiet or a nerd or a geeky or whatever, right? But people feel like you pussy or you soft. I could try you. What if that person came from a family full of crazy ass people and everybody knows that their family is on that type of time? That person has leverage now. So people aren't going to be willing to go that much far and try them because why? You know what type of time my family is on. That's where you can use that manipulation and flex that muscle back in other people's face, because people like to go after what they feel like might be easy or it can be attained, or this is too sweet for me. And then people get pissed off when they find out, yo, what I thought was sweet is actually sour. You get what I'm saying? That's when you have to create your leverage in life. When you have leverage, you can do a lot with that. Example, if you can't fight, what's your leverage? Get your hands up. When your hands are right, people gonna be that much more hesitant to want to come and size you because, oh, he got hands, bro, I'm not finna size him. You get what I'm saying? That's about getting your leverage up. Another one, higher stakes. When you have leverage, right, the stakes are often higher, making the consequences and the decisions that much more harmful. So here's the deal. Sometimes, and I said this before, there are people in life, they like to use their power to muscle people to get their way and do whatever it is that they want. You get what I'm saying? Once people have leverage, sometimes, especially when people are knowing that they're using their power in an ill-advised way, they'll use it in a way where it can cost them in a big potential way. That's why you have to up your leverage in life. You get what I'm saying? So example, what I told O'Neal, bro, if you want to play these games and think I'm pussy, I'm going to finesse you, dog. I told him out my mouth, bro, if you want to play a game, play games with the niggas that you grew up with and the niggas you went to prison with. I'm a nerd, my nigga. Don't play them games with me. I told that nigga that shit word for word, and he thought I was joking. I have leverage over you. I know where your father lives. I'm not saying in an ill-advised way, like, oh, I'm going to go harm. This is on camera, bro. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is I know your whereabouts. I know your first, middle, and last name. I know all your children's name. I know your old lady's name, Shanae Cotton. I know how to spell her name. I know her brother's name, Cameron Cotton. I know all of these people's name that's around you. So any way you try and run from me or try and do something stupid, I have receipts and I could go ahead and expose you for it. You get what I'm saying? That's my leverage. You have to understand that in life, if you don't know how to like stand up for yourself or get your power up, people are going to also feel like they can walk over you and muscle you in life. That's why I did that last video. Being too nice or being too friendly, it can get you disrespected. And that's very true. When sometimes people feel like they have the upper hand over you, or they feel like, yo, this person is resourceful, but they just come off like they're just something easy to run over, that's when reality sets in for some people that you are never really an easy target. They just don't know how to think properly, and they don't know how to vet a situation properly. That's why some people did things in an ill-advised way, and they're trying to seek extra leverage. It end up backfiring on them because they weren't able to attain the things that they truly wanted. You get what I'm saying? Last one, right? Well, not last one. Fear and compliance. Those with leverage can instill fear in others. Remember what I just told you? Leading to compliance without questions. That's why I just said, if people know, look, I got power, or I got gangs behind me, or I got my cousins or my big brothers, and you're weak, guess what? I'm going to try you. And this is something you need to understand. In this life, there's a lot of people who are very pussy. They like to go after people who are weaker. They don't go after people on the same type of time as them, because you could give me the same type of run for my money that I can give to you. So you know what? Let me make it easier for myself. Let me go down the bracket and let me go and aim after somebody that I deem is weaker than me. You get what I'm saying? If you do stuff like that and nobody's ever told you, that's pussy and that's weak, bro. If you really want respect from somebody, my nigga, you go up the totem pole. Meaning if you're smaller, you go after somebody that's deemed bigger than you. Either you got more power, more leverage. That's how people respect you. You don't get respect from bullying and trying to go after weak targets. That's pussy. You get what I'm saying? Last one. Resource control. Leverage can provide control over important resources. Example into what I just said. If you got muscle behind you, if you got power, you can use that leverage to get other things it is that you want. So example, let's say you got a whole bunch of people, they're wild, reckless with it. Yo, we're hungry. We need something to eat, right? We could use all of our leverage to muscle somebody who has food or whatever. Let's say if it was like in the olden time back in the days. You know what? Let's go rob this camp and let's go take from them. Because we got the leverage, we got the muscle. There are people who play these types of games. That's why I said, once you have leverage or you don't have leverage, you need to work on getting leverage. Because once you have leverage, you become what? You become dangerous. Once you're dangerous, you're a force to be reckoned with. That means people are that much more hesitant to want to feel like they can play with you. People are going to be more likely to side somebody, as I said, that's deemed weaker than somebody that they feel like can give them the same run for their money as what they could do for them. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I'm going to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser. Always make sure that if you have power, you never use it in an ill-advised way to harm other people. Use your power to help somebody or use it for the sake of good. Because using it for evil, it could turn around and backfire on you. And as well as that, if you know what you're doing is wrong and you're just trying to use your leverage to muscle people, it's going to come back to you on a nasty ass way, bro. You feel me? Don't be one of these people out here in life, man. 444 the world, man. Peace.